Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion. I guess theory, speculation, if you want. I do mostly those things. But anyway, today I'm once again joined by MJ from GeekList TV. MJ, how are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, you sound so sad.
Let's do this video, man.
Anyway, guys, so
I'm forced here. I'm forced here. I don't want to do this on my own will. Someone help me.
He doesn't want to do this video. Anyway, guys, I'm here to talk today about Gohan. I don't do a lot of Gohan videos, but I am kind of thinking about this. Will Gohan be ready for the tournament? I mean, obviously, we've seen in the last couple episodes that yes, he has been training, and yes, he can compete with other strong people in this universe. I mean, he's actually become strong at this point. He's like kind of made himself less of a pussy than he was at the beginning of the series. But even still, I feel like Gohan has kind of a recurring character trait that almost everybody in Super or Dragon Ball and the series always has. Is, you know, Goku always has to overcome. Vegeta always has to get beaten down and get back up and re-find his pride. Gohan at the other time, like Gohan isn't someone who goes into any fight, especially the first fight, and is overly confident and can instantly win or something. He has to get beaten down so much until he can find some kind of confidence in and of himself or the people around him, or just he needs to be stronger to fight people. He never goes into a fight and wins instantly. So personally, I feel like if they're bringing him back, and they are going to bring him back in a big way, he is going to struggle in this tournament at the beginning. He is going to have a hard time. He's going to find that he's not ready, at least emotionally he is not ready, and there's going to be something that helps him turn around. MJ, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I completely agree. No, I'm just kidding. I think one thing that people are kind of overlooking is that even though Gohan didn't train in the 7 years, he did prepare for the tournament. He did prepare for that tournament, and he was still kind of out of his battle sense. So even though Gohan has not trained in this last few years since the Buu arc, he has started to prepare himself. You know what I mean? He has started doing the whole Saiyaman thing again. He's been sparring with Piccolo and Goku. I still feel like it's going to be introduced that he's kind of lost his battle sense. I feel like that's going to be something they're going to go with in this series, or in this arc, just due to the fact that we have not seen him really fight a major villain other than Sagama, and Frieza dominated him. Frieza didn't even get out of his chair, bro. Frieza was like, "This ain't a fight, motherfucker. I'm torturing you." You know what I mean? Like, he literally tortured Gohan. So, bro, think about that for a second. He actually did more work against Nail than he did against Gohan in his first form. That's big, you know. So, anyways, going on from that topic, I feel like they are going to introduce that where Vegeta or Goku or Piccolo are just like, man, he's really lost his battle sense. You know, he's not prepared for this battle. You know, he may have trained and polished his power, but as far as a battle sense go, he's kind of lost that. You know what I mean? To be honest, has he really been at the tip-top shape real since the Cell arc? I mean, when you look at the Buu arc, obviously we didn't really see him fight in the tournament, and then when you saw him fight against Dabra, or Dabura, whatever you prefer to call him, Goku and Vegeta were cramming him with the whole, oh, you're not a fighter no more, you lost your battle sense, you haven't been keeping up with your battles. And then you look at the Buu thing, he barely fought Super Buu for a few moments before, you know, Buu Fu. So it's like, has Gohan really been at the tip-top shape of it? Has he ever been since the Cell arc? I don't think so. I think the Cell arc has probably been his best. Like, he trained with Goku and Piccolo for 3 years, and then he trained with Goku in the Room of Spirit and Time, and then he had all those battles on Namek, you know, Dodoria, Frieza's Elites, Ginyu Force, and then Frieza himself, and then of course he fought Cell. Like, I think probably Gohan was at his best in the Cell arc as far as battle sense, training, and power. No, and when I say by that, I don't mean as far as him being stronger. I know he was stronger in the Buu arc. I'm just saying that I feel like that's probably been his best. Mm-hmm. And in the Buu arc, again, we didn't really get to see him do that much, and then here, we haven't really seen him do anything in Super. Like, he hasn't even been introduced in the manga version of Dragon Ball Super. He's been literally out of the picture. So, I feel like that's going to be a key focus, and even though he is training, I feel like he's not going to be prepared for this battle. I feel like once he gets in front of somebody who is stronger than him, and who can rival him like Dabura did, I feel like we're really going to see him start to slip, you know what I mean?
I completely agree. Personally, when you look at Gohan, as opposed to like almost any other character in Dragon Ball, he doesn't rally. And it's weird to think about that because it's not the way we see most characters in Dragon Ball. Most people get back up and they fight harder than they used to, and it's not that Gohan doesn't do that, but Gohan does really well when he overpowers people. Look at his highlights versus Frieza, or his highlights versus Nappa, or even Vegeta, or Cell, even Boo. And as you and I, like you and a lot of other people, and myself included, we like to talk a lot about, and one thing that Dragon Ball Super has kind of been lacking at this point is that strategy is such an interesting part of Super, or even just Dragon Ball in general. Is in Super they haven't necessarily been showing it, but it actually is stated that you can beat somebody in Dragon Ball if you have strategy. You don't have to overpower anybody. And Gohan seems to be the physical embodiment of not that. Gohan can beat people with power. And he is so focused on his studies, he's so focused on all this other stuff that he doesn't have the strategy. And I think that's what you're saying about like the fighting sense. You don't have your fighting sense. He could have easily beaten Deborah, but he didn't. Maybe that's because he doesn't want to actually kill someone. Maybe that's because he didn't want to, he was afraid to use his full power. Maybe he was kind of rusty or any of this other stuff. But he doesn't take the advantages of what he's learned and his experience into any real fight. He basically, can I overpower them? Yes, then that's how I'll win, until that person either gives up or he tortures someone like Cell or something. And I feel like that's something, if they bring him back in any way, shape, or form, he is going to need to actually come face to face with that demon in himself and know if the stakes are such that if you die or if you lose, your universe is dead. That means everyone you love, everyone you ever cared about is going to die, and he needs to realize that. I just don't think that he's going to be of the mindset to know or realize that going into the very first round. And I feel like one of the things we talked about in another video that we did, and I just reiterate it here, is we know that there's going to be 10 people. I'm pretty sure there's rumors, at least, or maybe it's confirmed that there's going to be, I think it's confirmed, that there's going to be partners in fighting.
I believe something was mentioned about 18 and 17 working together, so yeah, that's possible.
So the one thing I'd want to see, obviously we would see probably, if anyone's going to work together, it's going to be Gohan and Piccolo. But one thing I would really like to see, and we mentioned it, is, getting that nostalgic, bringing back Fat Buhan, him fighting with Boo, and Boo's like, and Gohan gets beaten up, and Boo, not being a superly strategic mind, but being smarter than Gohan, realizes the only way they could win is if he absorbs Gohan, turns into Fat Buhan, and wins. And then that way, neither of them die. If neither of them die, neither of them lose for their team, and that way Gohan would start realizing that yes, this is serious, and you need to start buckling up and getting ready to actually fight, because you didn't come in ready as much as you thought you were. Because Gohan, like I said, is very much, I'm just going to overpower my enemy. I'm not going to think about actually beating them, because if you overpower them, they will stop fighting. And I don't think that's going to work, especially with the amount of people that we're going to be introduced to. And like, obviously the evil people we're going to be introduced to are going to not have any of that shit. So that's my thoughts.
However, though, before we get out of here, I just want to say this. However, to kind of play the devil's advocate with the Gohan fans and with Gohan is known for getting angry. He is known for kind of bringing out all of his hidden power when he is angry. We saw it against Raditz, we saw it against Frieza, we saw it against Cell. Now, with this part of, we could still see it because we saw Trunks do it, so we could still see it here. And I was actually talking to Mozilla Vulpix, Gabby, about this last night, really, and she brought up an interesting point that Goku says that Gohan has all the power he needs and he can overcome anything if he just gets angry, but he couldn't do that against Dabra, and it's because obviously, or under certain circumstances, he can't just bring it all out. It doesn't work like that, you know what I mean? The stakes have to be high, and usually when you look back at it, it is very intense moments that he actually brings it out. It's when Nappa kills Piccolo, it's when Goku's being tortured by Raditz, and then when Krillin gets impaled by Frieza, and then when everyone's dying on all of his friends and family, that's when he really brings it out. He can't just say, I need to get angry and I need to bring it all out. It doesn't work like that. So if there was a perfect time for him to bring back or I mean, if there was a perfect time for them to write him to get angry, it would be this arc, just due to the fact that we don't necessarily know if the women in them are coming. Now, I've seen people actually comment down below that on our video that people will be showing up. Why wouldn't they? That's fine. You can disagree with us, and if they do show up, that's fine. But if they don't show up, you're gonna have Pan and Videl, and you're gonna have Bulma and everybody on Earth. And if Gohan is fighting someone who is telling him, if you don't give up, I'm just gonna kill you. You know what I mean? Either way, your universe is gonna die because I don't want mine to be destroyed. Gohan will have to, he could rage, and this would be the perfect time for him to do that, and he could overcome that demon, but again, we're going to come into that same play with the whole, I need more power to beat you, you know what I mean? It's not the whole strategy point, because Gohan is a smart character, but he's not a smart fighter, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I was just saying, Gohan, even though I think he does still need strategy and he still needs to work on that, the same way with Piccolo could have beaten Frost with strategy, the same way that Vegeta kind of outsmarted Vegeta, I feel like he's going to need strategy, but at the same time, he could still just win and play a big role by just using his Rage Boots, which this is a perfect arc to introduce it. I just feel like he probably will still need strategy, though. I feel like that's going to be a big thing. If he doesn't face that demon in this arc, I feel like it'll be a wasted opportunity, because this is something that's been built up. You talk about continuity, this is something that's been built up for years in the Dragon Ball story, so they can really face that demon here, but who knows?
I completely agree with everything there. I just don't think that... Look, I feel like the stakes are such, and the roster of this tournament is such that Gohan could literally go through a round or two barely winning for whatever reason, be it strategy from another teammate or just barely pulling it out, to going, to understanding that and having to go up with someone who is stronger and more resilient than him and pushing him over that limit. I just feel like, look, this is a big idea. We don't necessarily know how long the arc itself is going to be, but we know that this is a huge idea, and that they have time to play with this. They have time to build this little mini arc for Gohan back up to be very satisfying for the fans. So having him not ready for the first fight or the second fight or something, or losing it in the third, would be something amazing for us to see, especially if the whole team is counting on him. And not just the whole team, but yeah, Videl and Pan and Bulma and Chi-Chi and Goten and Trunks and everyone else who's not there. And have Gohan realize that, or be told that by Goku or Piccolo or the person he's fighting, or Videl even, or someone, and bringing out that rage, bringing out that pure emotional, like, I'm gonna just completely destroy you type of fan moment would not only be epic, but it would, at least at that point, it would be earned. And I'm not saying it won't be earned if he goes into the first fight like that. I just really hope, since they've kind of taken so much away from him, at least in the main parts of Super, not even going to the tournament, getting kind of bested by Frieza, doing all this stuff. It's been a year since Frieza. That's not proper storytelling. He might have learned a lesson throughout all this stuff, but it's been a year since Frieza. It's been a year since he ducked out of the tournament. We need, at least very quickly, a reiteration of that one more time. That yes, he's ready. His power is there. He just doesn't know how to use it anymore. He's too afraid to use it, like he's always done. Just another circular story for Gohan. And yes, it might be, that's kind of ridiculous. Why do we keep going over the same character tropes for all of these people? Well, that's just what Super does, and it does it really well. So
yeah, I completely agree with you, man.
I think that's something that we should see, and I really hope that's how they play it off. But anyway, guys, MJ, you don't have anything left to say, do you?
Make sure you go subscribe to my channel. I make awesome content. Just kidding. So fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. Super
like ridiculous, man. Like, okay, you're gonna plug yourself that hard. Anyway, guys, but like MJ said, please make sure to go check out his content. Daily Dragon Ball content for everybody who's interested. Really awesome stuff, and he also has some really cool concepts coming to his channel pretty soon, so you're not gonna want to miss that. Anyway, guys, if you did like this video, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and share it out to everyone that you thought might want to even see this. Maybe we made some good points. Share your good points in the comment section below, because me and MJ really want to see that stuff. But anyway, until next time,